Okay, for math today, we are going to do a little bit of review, and then I'm going to give you some activities that are a little bit different um, because they're still the unique activities, but I'm going to have you do them in a little bit of a different way. So let's go through what this looks like, and then we can kind of go through it together. Let me move my screen just a little. So the first thing we're going to do, again, is talk about some graphs. So we talked about a simple bar graph yesterday that only had one bar on each of it. So now we're talking about our favorite movie genre. So a genre is like a type of movie or like a category, okay? So science fiction, action, mystery, or comedy. So different kinds of movies. And I'm not sure if you remember when we did this before, we can on a double bar graph, you can have two sets of data for each part. So for science fiction, we have the boys and the girls. Okay, action, boys and girls. Same thing for all of them. So let's see what this looks like. How many more boys voted for action movies than girls? So when we're looking here, we're only looking at the action movie portion. So I'm having a hard time speaking today. So we're only looking at this one. Okay, and so how many more boys than girls? So when we say how many more, that means we're going to be subtracting. Boys is 4 and girls is 2. So we're going to do 4, take away 2. How many more boys voted than girls for action movies? 2. Okay, let's move this down a little, see if I can remember. Yes, I did it the first time. The total number. So when it says total, we're going to be adding them together. Science fiction movies, okay? So science fiction, way over here, we're going to be adding 5 and 2 because it says total, okay? So which one got the most, or excuse me, which one got the least? So what you might want to do with this is count them all up in each category and then compare the numbers, okay? It kind of looks like you might be able to guess. Sorry, I'm going to try to erase this. You might be able to guess which one has the most or the least, but you might just want to add them together just to double check, okay? So that you're not just guessing by each of the bar graphs because you're going to want to add them together to see what the total is for each one. Okay, there is a second page. Also, it has the chart, which helps us a lot, so that we don't have to scroll back and forth. Okay, here's your first activity. Please let me know if you have any questions. Let's see what else we have for today. Okay, we're also going to be reviewing some angles today. Okay, so we're going to be doing a little bit of geography. Excuse me, not geography. Geography is science and history and social studies, and we are going to be doing geometry. That makes more sense. Okay, so we're talking about a point. Remember that it represents a place. A ray, remember if there's an arrow at the end, it can go on forever and ever and ever. So you have to pretend that this line goes on forever, past my screen even. An angle, so two rays that share a common point. So here's the point that they share. A right angle, if you remember, is 90 degrees. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. An obtuse is larger than 90 degrees. See how these have a little square in them? Remember, that's where the right angle would be, okay? So see how this gray line right here? This tells us if it was a right angle, that's what it would be. So it gives us a really good clue that this is smaller than a right angle, okay? And then the obtuse is larger than a right angle. A straight line measures 180 degrees, so it goes from one side to the other. Okay, so yours may look like this. Remember, this dotted line always shows us where the 90-degree angle is, okay? So this angle is, and right here, we're looking for what the angle is. So we can look right here. It's in bold for us, which really helps. This angle is 130 degrees. And then we have to say, is it bigger than a right angle, equal to a right angle, or smaller than a right angle? Remember, the right angle is here. And since this shows us how large the angle is, we know that it is bigger than a right angle. Okay? So this, if it is bigger than a right angle, that means it is obtuse. All right. So yours may also, look like this with not so many lines on it. Okay? It's all the same assignment, so don't let that panic you. It's just a little bit easier to see. Okay? Again, here's where that right angle would be, right here. And then it is larger, okay? See how this line goes larger than the 90 degrees, Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, we are now going to be talking some more about angles and geometry, but we're going to be talking about adjacent and vertical. So an adjacent angle means that they're connected. Do you see how this line doesn't stop? Okay, and these two right here, this blue and the purple, they do not, they share a ray, so they share a line, okay, but they are not always equal amounts, okay, and they can be touching, okay, so they touch. Vertical angles mean the lines intersect, but they're across from each other. Do you see how there's a break? Here's the or the red angle, and then there's a break, and then there's another, okay? Same here. It's the blue one goes here, there's a break, and then there's another. And you'll notice that each of these on a vertical angle, sneeze. Bless you. Each of these on these vertical angles are equal, okay? So look here, this blue one, this one is a smaller angle, an acute, and this one is obtuse, okay? But they're connected. This one right here, these two blue sides are equal angles, okay? So it tells you on these pages which angles to look for, okay? The purple and the orange. So here's the purple, and then it continues to the orange. So if it's continuous, that means it's adjacent, okay? So we would say these are adjacent angles. Yellow and orange are, so here's the yellow and here's the orange. So it even tells us right here that each of these angles is 20 degrees. So if it's 20 degrees and this one's 20 degrees, that means they are equal, okay? If they're equal and opposite of each other, they're going to be vertical. Okay, so that is the rest of our geometry. I am going to download and share something on Google Classroom, so you'll have a page that you'll be able to just complete on your iPad and submit it in Google Classroom. We can do that together, and I can show you what that looks like, but that's just going to be another step so I can make sure that you're getting what we're doing. So these are your assignments on Unique, and then you'll have an additional one just in Google Classroom. Let me know if you need any help. Good job. Nice work.